If you own a smartphone, then you are a potential victim. There have been 3 cell phone robberies reported just in the last 3 days here at the Charleston Town Center Mall. These yellow "Do Not Occupy" contaminated property signs on every single door of this hotel. That means that these owners now have to prove that every single one of these rooms is not contaminated with meth. There had been a lot of speculation about whether this stabbing happened inside the club, outside the club, or perhaps down the street a block or so. But this is actually where that stabbing happened. These were the people who were really kind of on edge this morning because the Clearon Corporation, it's visible from here. It's just a few blocks down the road.
Eyewitness News reporter Leslie Rubin went inside the operation and is here to separate fact from fiction as the leader of the group is speaking out for the first time. Leslie.
Yeah, Callie, you go into Clay and bring up Ark Mountain and immediately the accusations start flying. Some people say the group is a religious cult armed to the core. But these are rumors that don't seem to bother a man named James Tyler, the leader of the group that he says is all about sustainability, music, and teamwork. Welcome to Clay. Population about 500, a little town where everyone knows everyone. And everyone here knows about a place called Ark Mountain. Situated just a few miles outside of town and about a mile up a mountain and smack dab in the middle of the woods, it's a place that few people have actually ventured to themselves. But they've all heard the stories.
People that have never been here, not even in this state, actually have written about Ark Mountain.
Meet James Tyler. Originally from Fort Worth, Texas, he moved to Clay County about a year ago and bought 250 acres along Beachy Ridge Road. His goal, to develop what he calls a sustainable community. How many cabins do you hope to have?
Maybe 10, 15 here.
Building solar, octagon-shaped cabins, collecting rainwater.
Every time it rains, it fills up.
Farming, and prepping for what he describes as the impact of climate change, urbanization, economic growth, and globalization.
Everybody should prepare in one way or the other. It's just what extreme you're taking.
Are you a doomsday organization?
I wouldn't say that. Doomsday would be hunkered down and digging, shelters and running drills.
Rumors have run rampant about Tyler's controversial community of 8 people, especially on social media sites. He says he's heard people say he's associated with the late David Koresh, the leader of the Branch Davidians religious sect in Waco, Texas, that he's a dangerous cult armed with military weapons, and he's holding people against their will in cages.
All their stories got wilder and wilder. They got so wild, the sheriffs had to come out here.
Local police are well aware of Tyler's group. Remember Hiram Lewis, the former political candidate arrested after shooting a man he claims was trying to break in his home?
I'm completely innocent of any charges.
Lewis was once a member of Ark Mountain, but for reasons Tyler doesn't go into, isn't welcome back on the property.
I don't even know what the allegations are.
Then there's Derek Glasser, arrested in February on sexual abuse charges against a 6-year-old girl who was also living on the property inside this school bus.
We had no bearing on it. We knew nothing about it. This was going on before he came here. He was only here like 3 or 4 weeks.
Tyler says his gate is always open to inquiring minds who would like to see what Ark Mountain is really about.
There's no cult going on or anything like that. There's no Kool-Aid being made, or anything like that.
For Stephanie Herndon, it's a simple lifestyle she enjoys.
It's good for my psyche.
A far cry from her work in a Tampa, Florida law office.
We're not crazy people. It's just a matter of getting closer. For me, it's a matter of getting closer back to a more simple way of living.
Things are getting a bit warmer. We're out here now on the teepee.
David Kaminsky lives at Ark Mountain with 5 other family members. He lives here, he says, to become more in tune with nature.
I guess the locals, if they have their own theories what's going on out here, but I mean, we've invited them the entire time we've been up here.
Tyler hopes to one day operate an adventure camp on the property, but right now the main focus is preparing for a 3-day music festival. Dubbed Ark Fest and featuring dozens of local musicians like Steve Clever. Tyler says he can bring good things to Clay County.
I would think anything would help the area.
A mission he says won't be stopped because of some raised eyebrows.
If they don't like me or what I'm doing, that's fine. I'd come out and see for yourself, though.
This is a top priority case as 30 school buses are heavily damaged in an overnight vandalism spree that essentially leaves taxpayers the final victims.
Who would do something like this?
The question on everyone's mind as police and school officials in Braxton County survey damage unlike anything they say they've ever seen.
Just every bus, there's something.
30 of the county's 32 buses targeted by vandals.
There's one bus that has 12 glasses busted out of it.
Windows shattered. Radios and video equipment destroyed.
It's just a horrible situation.
And those investigating stunned at the overnight damage that could top more than $100,000. 2 of the buses vandalized overnight were special needs buses used in Braxton County. You can now see the windows busted out of bus 90 and shattered glass lining the floors. Damage also inside the buses. Police believe fire extinguishers were used to bust the windows and then discharged before the vandals took off.
A fire extinguisher that was taken out of the bus, or one of the buses adjacent to this one, was actually protruding from the windshield of this bus here.
A top priority case for police as they work to find out who's responsible.
We're here to serve the kids. That's what this is all about. And all the decisions that we make in the county are for kids. So who would want to, do this kind of damage for kids? It's sad.
So accused of rigging the county's grand jury. Here's what he had to say as he left the courthouse this evening.
And the truth will be told, and I'll be acquitted.
Why do you believe that you'll be acquitted?
Because I'm not guilty.
Police were on scene searching this parking lot and the businesses all day for the suspect or any clues that he may have left behind. Their investigation even took them all the way down here by the Canal River. Ferris says the state has spent $30 million over the last 5 years making schools safer, upgrading security systems to restrict access so that guns couldn't make their way into school. We have been able to talk to several neighbors in this area, and they were very quick to point out that this house has been the source of a lot of controversy in this area, that there had been some possible illegal activity going on inside, and that they've really been keeping an eye on what's going on over here. These were 3 men who were very well known in this area, and that's not because of Shane Gandy's newfound stardom, but because they were local boys. They grew up in Sissonville. Sissonville was their home. In a remarkable and emotional reunion, we were there as she was reunited with her family.
In my whole life, I've never felt so helpless as I have when this started.
Eugene Hankins anxiously waits for his wife Charlene outside of Boone Memorial Hospital. He hasn't seen her in almost 2 weeks.
God's still working today. He's the same God today as he was, when he created this place. That's all the hope I had.
Hanging on to hope night after night that she didn't come home, he relied on a higher power that Charlene would be found alive. His prayers finally answered.
Relieved, so happy. I never thought I would see her face again, and it's just, it's so wonderful.
A daughter crying tears of joy, fearing her mom might never be found. She hadn't been seen since leaving a nursing home near Chief Logan State Park on August 7th. Her car was found on Sunday abandoned in twilight. Out of gas, keys in the ignition, but no sign of her. Her family and the community, stopping at nothing to find her, went out searching again on Monday. A man riding a 4-wheeler spotted her in the woods.
Thanking God, praising God for all he's done. It's only by him that she's alive. He's kept her through all this time in the woods.
Hankins told troopers her GPS had taken her through twilight on her way to Oceana, and she went to find help after running out of gas. Living off the land for 12 days, she was badly dehydrated, but is going to be okay.
I can't explain it. Still can't. Best thing I've ever had.
A mother, wife, and sister reunited with the family, determined from day one to bring her home.